Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel Moxie DIY in Java. I'm Michelle. Today's video is going to be all about a farmhouse Christmas. So grab your cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and join me. To start this DIY, we're going to dehydrate our citrus. And to do that, it needs to be low and slow. So I'm setting my oven at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. I end up changing it to 200 degrees later, and I set the timer for 2 hours. Then I pull the citrus out, flip it, and set it for another 2 hours. I'm cutting my pieces to about 1/4 of an inch thick. In total, mine were in the oven for about 5.5 hours. Now that the citrus is fully dried, I'm going to take these picks I had on hand from last year and we're going to make a swag. Now I'm using 4 small picks, but if you have any large picks on hand, that would work perfectly well for this also. Here I'm showing that I have 2 of the same pick, and I'm going to separate them by putting one at the bottom and one at the top. To attach them, I'm going to use lengths of twine tied very tightly around the stems. For this last wrapping, I cut a longer piece of twine so I could create a hanger in the back. These are just a few of the dried oranges and grapefruits, and I think they are beautiful. Look at this color. Have you ever dried citrus before? This was my first time. To age these bells, I just gave it a patina by using brown paint and a stippling brush, and I just dabbed it on. Now here, to attach the bells to the twine, I'm going to use a slip knot and just place the loop through the holder for the bell, bring it through, and then I'm going to tie a knot on top of that with some hot glue to hold it in place. Between the cinnamon sticks and the dried oranges and grapefruits, this swag smells amazing. We're going to be making two variations of this jar. The first one that I'm going to show here is meant to look like a carved wooden jar. And to do that, we're going to layer lots of paint lightly. So always start with your lightest layer, which is the white, and then with your next lightest, and then your darkest, and so on. And then you're creating the look of wood grain through the layers of paint and a very chippy brush. Now my brush is mostly dry and I'm just gently touching the jar. So here they are, two very different looks, and I'm really pleased with how the wooden one turned out. Now to create the look of the sapling, we're going to cut these particular stems from, I think this is called a frosted fern in Dollar Tree, but it's actually a cypress. Anyway, we're going to cut the ones that have the conical shapes to them and put those inside floral foam. And then we're going to top it off with some moss and call it good. Revisiting the dried oranges, I'm just going to use the tip of my scissors to make a small hole in each of the orange slices. I think these turned out so sweet and it would look really cute on a windowsill. My video, along with many others in this playlist, is part of the 5 under $5 DIY challenge, and it is hosted by my friends Missy of the Crafty Cove DIY, Emily of Farm Charm Chic, and our guest host is Krista of Krista's Crafty Life. And the theme of this playlist is to make 5 DIYs, all $5 or under. And this month the DIYs are supposed to be Farmhouse Christmas. So be sure to check the description box. I will have all of the hosts' channels as well as the playlist linked below. This is the gingerbread craft kit from the Dollar Tree, and in it you get 5 kits to make little gingerbread men. And we're going to use 2 of them to create a front and back to our primitive gingerbread man. Now, as you can see, there is a blank side and a side that has Greenbrier written on the back. that is going to be the inside. So we are going to paint the front side that has no text on it. And to do that, we're going to use brown paint and this little dauber sponge. And basically what we're going for here is the look of old fabric. My dauber is mostly dry and I am just pouncing on some of this paint again just to create some texture to the felt. Now time to stuff him. First we're going to pre-stuff his arms because those are really hard to get the stuffing into. So all we're going to do is pre-position some batting and glue that down. Now we're going to glue around the edge of the rest of him, but we're going to leave the bottom part open so we can stuff the rest of him. Any glue that has seeped out, I go through with my scissors and cut off. Now we're going to stuff his legs the same way I did with his arms. We're going to pre-position some batting, glue it down, and then glue around it. I hope that you are enjoying these DIYs I'm making today, and if you are, please consider subscribing to my channel or liking this video. My subscribers are my favorite people, and I always enjoy talking to you in the comments. So if you are a new subscriber, please be sure to let us know. And if you are a part of the Moxie family already, be sure to say hi in the comments also. Most cotton fabrics allow you to tear them, and that is my goal today. So we're going to use this fabric to create little mufflers for our gingerbread man. And to do that, you just make a little snip, just like that, and then tear. Oh my gosh, these guys are adorable. I can't wait to use them as bowl filler. I'm sorry to say I lost all of my footage for this DIY, so I'm going to try to talk you through it with you looking at the picture so you can kind of get an idea of what I did. First, I spray painted the entire dish white. I know in the supplies list I show a black spray paint. I decided to go with white because I felt like it was more Christmassy. Then, using the same mixture of black and brown paint that I used for the sapling jar, I very lightly went over the edges and various raised areas and created the look of a dough bowl. So I hope that that makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. To start this DIY, we're going to figure out where we need to make holes for our binder ring, which is going to become our hanger. Once you have your placement, we're going to make little marks on the bucket where the binder ring just starts to widen. So you're going to go straight down and in just slightly, and you're going to make your dot right there. And you're going to do that on both sides of the binder ring. Now, you can totally use a drill here, I just chose not to, but I took a very thick nail and I'm just hammering it right in where I have my dots. Open up your binder ring and we're going to put one side in all the way to that center hinge, and then we will be able to put the other side through the other hole. Then before you clasp it, you're going to want to pull it up so that way it is snug on the bottom and you have enough on top to hang it with. And then we're going to top it off with some super glue. These tumbling tower blocks are going to be our clapper, and to make it, we're going to sandwich this twine in between both of them with some good old hot glue. And then once that glue has set, we're going to stain the wood. I feel like this bucket needs to be dressed up a little bit, so we're going to use this metal ribbon that I found at the Dollar Tree and just attach it with some hot glue. And then once that's done, we're going to spray paint everything. The spray paint I will be using is Rust-Oleum's Champagne Bronze. Now to add patina, once again we're using the black-brown combo, and I'm going to brush in circular motions along the edges and just various spots of this now bell. Okay, I'm happy with how it looks, so now we're going to attach the clapper. And literally all we're going to do is just triple knot this twine up on the hanger. And here it is, and it actually does ring, although it's more cowbell than harmony bell, but I think it'll look really cute on my porch come winter. And here's the final look of all of my projects. I would love to know which one is your favorite. It's really hard for me to pick because I really truly like all of them and I know I'm going to use them in my decor. But I think my favorite is probably either the Gingerbread Man or the Dough Bowl. Well, as always, I'm so thankful that you have spent your time with me, and until I see you in the next video, take care.